as you start to develop confidence in yourself and in your body, that translates into your everyday life. So as we practice these things like going inverted, it might just seem like, oh, it's just this like sexy upside down thing. But really what you're building is confidence in yourself. I can catch me. That is a really important skill. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Thick Thighs Save Lives podcast. I'm Kelsey.
You're not Kelsey. You're Howard Stern. Are you drunk or something? Are you hungover?
I'm Howard, and nobody questioned. I feel like unless I missed everyone questioning why Howard Stern wore sunglasses during all of his podcasts, I feel like no one questioned it. They just went along with it, and so we're just gonna go along with it.
Are we? Are we gonna do that?
Me and Howard. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. My computer makes me look green, and it's a problem. And I'm sick of seeing that face.
Sometimes you're just sick of your own face. And you
Disguise.
say, you know what? I just can't look at this face anymore.
Can't look at this face. Put sunglasses on.
I'm gonna
go by the content of my words, not the greenness of my camera.
It's so motivational. That's so enlightening. I'm so glad you. Well, I mean,
I do what I want.
It's not. You know what we should have done is got like a sponsorship, and then you could have been like, if you want to wear sunglasses inside too, you can get these use the code Kelsey, and then because those are cute. Those are cute. Are you gonna say where you got them?
Diff.
Oh my God, you're such a coffee.
Oh my God, I just love Diff.
I do too.
I have more on the way. I'm not gonna lie.
We are not sponsored by Diff, but if you're looking for a pair of super, super good quality sunglasses.
Well, then I wish I had my new ones. Stay tuned for next week.
Oh man. Well, if you ordered some, I'm going to order some. Because they have those BOGOs.
It was a Memorial Day sale.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. I'm here for that.
Yeah. If you didn't get shorts on Memorial Day sale, though, what are you even doing? Because the weather is getting warmer.
We had a hot Memorial Day. It was hot.
Yeah.
Hot prices, hot deals, sports bras and shorts. I mean, everything you need for the warmer weather coming. Everything. Yeah, it was a hot sale.
I also dropped into a gym for Memorial Day, and it was really cool because there was a couple people there wearing CVG, which is always cool and surprising to me.
That would blow my mind wide open. I'm
like, oh my God, those are our shorts running by. And then I immediately feel a connection like we're friends.
What were they wearing?
One girl was wearing the run shorts, and they were the here we go. Here we go.
Well, you are
turn
drunk.
On the camera, you turn on a microphone, and I forget everything I've ever known in this world.
You are so drunk behind those sunglasses. It's probably a pair of shorts you designed.
I know. That's why it's so frustrating because, have you guys, has this ever happened to you where you're going hot on a thing, the ins and outs of a topic, and then someone's like, tell me about that topic, and you're like, who am I? What's my name? And you literally just blank out.
And you just put on your sunglasses.
Yeah.
And you just say, I'm not apologizing for any of this. I don't know. I can't remember what run shorts she was wearing. Moving on.
Yeah. And then there was another person wearing the stars, the blue stars that were from a couple of years ago. It was Memorial Day. So it was a couple Memorial Day themed stuff. But a couple people came up and said oh, I have the American flag pants. I have those in pants.
Oh,
I've
no,
never
you
tried
were recognized?
I was.
Oh, God, that's my worst fear.
Yeah.
My worst fear is that I'm going to be somewhere and somebody's going to be like, hey, aren't you – this would never happen because, this is all just, made up anxiety.
You're already – I got to clean my glasses.
Well, now we're just – you couldn't have done that before we started?
I didn't realize it. I'm going to be honest with you.
This is a
I just put them on and I just went with it. But
anyways,
you better shut up and let me tell my story. Someone was like, me and Isley both had obviously our shorts on because we wear nothing else. And I was like, I've been wanting to try those shorts and I just needed to maybe see them in person, but I'm definitely going to wear them now. I wasn't sure, like, because, I'm specific about shorts. And I want to say this loud and clear for everyone. Like more than likely, if you're listening to the podcast, you probably already own a pair of our shorts. But I am the pickiest shorts wearer there has ever lived on this planet. Like, there is no one pickier than me about shorts.
Those shorts went through 16 edits where Kelsea was like, nope, not quite there. Yes. And we were like, well, is it close? Because it really is true. I've never seen someone that's pickier about shorts than you. And it's kind of, you're like a fine wine connoisseur. Like, you can taste like which vineyard it's from. And that's how you are with shorts. You're like, I sense a bit of polyester in the, is that stitching in the side pockets? I feel, and it's
true.
I know you really are a connoisseur of shorts, and you've designed some really great. What was the code for new customers? If you haven't tried our shorts.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Oh, here we go. All right. Maybe we'll just get that for the end of the podcast.
You brought it up.
It's true. Well, I thought you were going to remember.
I don't.
Wait, text podcast?
Oh, it's text podcast at 22896.
Okay. I was wondering the keyword. Yeah. Okay. So we're collaborating. We're collaborating. If you're a new customer and you want to try our shorts, just text podcast. What do we?
Podcast 22896. And you get a 10% off code.
Yeah.
Or, you get 10% off your order.
To try.
We do have friend buy too. So, like, I know we've never talked about friend buy during the podcast, but basically, like, we have friend buy. So if you want to tell your friends, if you're like, oh, I do have our shorts, but I would still like to get rewarded for my friends trying all of these, you just get in on friend buy and then they get $10 and you get $10 just for referring them. And it's just like a love fest of shorts.
I love a love fest of shorts
because if you're a real amazing human, I don't know, like you really like something, you tell your people about it. That's what I do.
You don't hold out.
No, I like come through. I'm like,
I've been walking by, usually. Like when I'm dressed up in like dressy clothes or something, if someone stops me or if like a girl stops me and says like, oh my gosh, I love that dress or like whatever, where'd you get it? I will literally turn around and tell her to pull my tag if I can't remember it. Like that's how much I'm not holding out. Like if you like something, you share it because
you should have it.
Yeah, because everybody should have it.
Yeah.
I'm
like, oh, you should get this.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm going to tell you exactly where I got it. And if I have a code for you, I'm giving you that too because I'm going to save you some money.
Yeah, and if you need good shorts and you're not wearing CBG shorts,
just do it.
You got to because
don't wait for me to show up at your gym to convince you.
That would be cool though. I'm sure she was like, okay, and you designed them, so I'm pretty sure this is a good reference point for me to be able to. Yeah, so I'm so glad that you brought up Memorial Day because I did want to congratulate all of our ladies who completed Murph on Memorial Day weekend. It was a beautiful thing that our community trained for together, did together. We put out our free calendar so that people could get, prepared and train leading up to it. And people just, every year, obviously, people have, just these really strong emotional responses to this workout, why we do this workout, how difficult it is, but how it can also be scaled for any person in their fitness journey at any point. So it's like we're all just doing this really difficult thing at our own levels together for this just incredible remembrance and honor. And it was a really powerful thing. I'm really, really glad that our community, is is so good about posting their experiences and sharing them, because I get to kind of live through them all over the country and just like feel all their feels. And I just wanted to send out a big congrats to everyone who did any version of the Murph workout this weekend. Sorry, Memorial Day weekend. We're a little ahead. And thank you for being brave, because like, you know, it's a big task, that workout, and you really have to, you know, be brave to take on something like that. And you did it. And Kelsea, this was the first year you had a vest that fit.
I did. I was super excited about that.
Is a game changer.
Yeah. I had a vest that fit, and it didn't give me all kinds of rashes because they bounce around. Like I'm a small human, so any vest that I get on is usually just like way too big. It hits me in the face. I get burns like either under my chin or on the lower back. I had a vest that fit, and it was like a game changer.
I was talking to Isley about like old school CrossFit, and how we used to have like a one size fits all vest at the gym, and someone used to finish their first heat of Murph, take it off, and then you put it on.
Yeah.
Like it was just absolutely drenched in their body oils and sweat and like whatever else.
Take it off, like someone would take it off and put it on the pavement for the like 10 minutes between, and there you would pick it up and there would be a wet spot.
And then I put that on
your body. Yeah.
And then I used duct tape to try to make it fit, because it was like a one size fits all, like men and women. I'm like duct taping of that. Like we did some things. I'm really glad it's come up a level that we now can buy vests that actually fit us and just have our own sweat.
Yeah.
Because that's good enough.
Just mine.
Just I just want to.
Really, eight or so years in.
Yeah, just want my own sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say too, this is our 5th year doing Murph together, our Murph calendar, and it is so amazing to watch all of the women either do the calendar or come together and do it all over the place, you know, collective suffering in different parts of the world, you know, all doing it together. And what I really like to remind our community is, if you enjoyed the Murph calendar, if you enjoyed pieces of it, the idea there is to take some of those habits and incorporate them into your daily life moving forward. You know, if you liked you know, thinking about doing some mobility stuff, or if you really liked, you know, taking a walk on Sundays, or having some of the like little short runs, like you can incorporate that into your training, and that's, you know, what it's there for.
Yeah, it is meant to be a good jumping off point for you to build on and really get those habits going and in place, so that you can kind of continue on that really important path of having, and you know, obviously the nice thing about it is your fitness is planned for you every day. Yeah. And if you love that, you got to be a TTSL member, because I think that is a huge hurdle when it comes to, and people realize it when they do something like a calendar, like, wow, it was so convenient that I didn't have to think. I just, you know, woke up and it was written out for me what I'm doing that day, and all I have to do is just like carve out a little bit of time and get it done. So that's really important. On today's episode, we are going to be answering some rapid fire questions. But first, I did just want to say, maybe you can't tell because you feel like your camera's not giving your colors correctly. You're like a little bit Kermit, but I'm seeing you in person and you look so nice and tan. What? Yeah. You do. You look so nice and tan. Thanks. And which tanner did you use?
The Coco and Eve. So I'm mixing. I'm a mixer though. You know what I mean? When I want to get like a darker, like more solid base, I use the Coco and Eve, and then I also have like Lux Unfiltered, like lotion.
That's like the in between, like the maintenance
that's kind
one.
of in between. Yeah, because it's like a gradual one, more gradual. Yeah, it's like a little bit less of a.
Well, the color looks great. We can't get our own natural tans because it's the middle of June and it's 60 degrees and we're all wearing sweaters. So that
we'll get there.
It looks really good on you. And I didn't know if you had any stories you wanted to share about. I guess my lead-in wasn't good enough for you. So
well, here's the thing. I think I'm kind of a hot mess of a human. Like, I just maybe more people are like this, hopefully, but I'm like kind of a hot mess of a human where like I come in and like my things are everywhere, like I leave my shoes around here, like it's a whole thing. But I had been not sleeping in my bed and and put self tanner on. And then you get up and you're like, okay, so anyone who sees self tanner before you go to bed, like it's gonna get on your sheets. Like that's just
No matter the brand.
no matter the brand. It's gonna get on your sheets because it's on your skin and you're not sleeping in a bag and it's covering your whole body. And like I always put it on.
Although they do sell those. Did you see those like cocoons? You can
really.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
seems
do that.
wildly.
No, I need to be free.
It's like I'm like spreading out.
I
like
would
the most,
rather leave a tan body mark.
Well, you did.
I did. Would just like maybe off-putting for other people.
You ever been sleeping in someone else's bed and left a brown tan body mark where you were sleeping? No? Just Kelsea? Oh.
Just me? And I'm like, oh, that's my tanner. But he already knew it was mine because he had to do my back.
Well, okay. So then, all right.
Yeah, because I'm like, what had happened the week before was I put it all on. And
so you're sleeping in his bed and you're entrusting him to put self-tanner on the back, on the parts you can't reach?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a serious relationship.
Oh my God.
You don't trust anybody on the back.
No, I mean, you know, it's gotten a little desperate sometimes because the only person that really I have put self-tanner on my back is Rachael. Because, you know, number one, you're going to be like kind of naked and they got to do a good job.
You got to understand the way
wax
on.
We're doing wax on, wax off.
You can't just like willy-nilly.
If you do it yourself, you just kind of give it a little swipe and then all of a sudden you're in a photo shoot and you just have a little swipe that goes from like nice tan brown to like white is what is happening there. What the ghost of Kelsea's past is only on her back.
I mean, he's not on my level, but I guess we can both see you naked, so that's something. Good for you, new boyfriend. You are reaching new levels. You got the brown mark in your bed. We're giving you the stamp of approval.
I'm sure that is
we won't
the gold
him
star
with his
there.
name. So Coco and Eve diff sunglasses. We really hit the why don't we have codes for these things? People contact us. We'll give a code for our people. So I did want to talk a little bit about some of the questions that we've been asked in the group. And because they said, I got an idea. We'll answer them in 2 minutes or less. And I was like,
we're going to answer these questions in 2 minutes or less. But if we go over, we make the rules around here.
Yeah, like, listen, you get what you get.
Honestly, this is what I say.
You tune in, you get what you get.
Yeah, I'm like, I went over on the rules that I made. Report me.
So, a couple of questions that we have been asked this week that we thought would, benefit to a larger audience. One of the questions we were asked was how to incorporate weightlifting into this person really loves hiking. And in the summer, she does a lot of hiking and she knows that weightlifting will, definitely improve her abilities to the thing she loves, which is hiking. But she's not sure how to work that in because it's like, how many hours are there in a day? What am I supposed to be doing? And I think this is really common with people who have, fitness hobbies that they love. It's a lot of like, the summer opens up to like stand-up paddle boarding and like hiking and all of these sort of outdoor activities that you're like, yeah, I really want to spend some time doing that, but I also know that lifting is important. Firstly, good on you for knowing that lifting is going to improve your hiking, because it absolutely is. It will also not only help you to be a more efficient hiker and be able to go further and, you know, have more endurance, all that, but it's also going to keep your hikes injury free, which I love, because the more you are strengthening yourself to do those things that you love, whether that's biking, whether, you know, pick the thing. If it's a physical thing, if you are going to do weight bearing exercise, you are only going to improve your performance and decrease your chance of getting injured. So that's number one. And then number two, like, how are you going to incorporate these? I totally get it. You want to get outside. First of all, I want to say that, like, when it comes to the summertime and the weather warming up and whatever, we, you know, there are places in the country, Massachusetts, where we've waited a long ass freaking time for this. If you want to spend a lot of your fitness outside of the gym, yes. Yes, there is no need to be inside, you know, kind of like forcing it when you really want to be outside breathing the fresh air. Even if that means like you're like, I'm just going to bring a pair of dumbbells outside today. I'm just going to do my workout outside. But those activities like the hiking and the paddle boarding and all of those things, if you are going to need to skip some sessions, some, you know, typical gym sessions to get those things in during your summer, yeah. I just want to say I'm here for that. Fitness looks like a lot of things, and fitness looks like enjoyment in your life. So yes, you should absolutely be incorporating some of those things, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that to the question of how to incorporate more weightlifting in when you are already doing those things, I think that it's really important.
Oh, you're going to actually answer the question?
Yeah, I was going to answer the question.
Okay, and your high horse over there riding by me on sunglasses on a high horse.
On my unicorn, get it right.
Okay, go ahead and answer the question. I'm just dancing around it, and I didn't even make the 2 minutes. So
you didn't. I was watching the clock.
Whatever.
Here we are, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
I make the
You
rules.
can incorporate weightlifting into your workout routine, whether that be something that you enjoy, whether it's more like hiking, with just doing it a couple times a week. And what I really like to introduce when we start talking about incorporating things that maybe we aren't in love with, but are going to help our overall fitness and health, is that we do it in small increments. So if you do twice a week for 30 to 40 minutes and those are your strength training sessions, you have 30 to 40 minutes. So like I'm talking, get a 10 to 15 minute warm up, and then you have maybe a 15 to 20 minute strength piece, and you're doing that twice a week. That is going to drastically improve your overall health and wellness and your strength to be able to go on those long hikes without making it this big to do.
It doesn't need to be a big time commitment, and it honestly doesn't need to even have a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're weight bearing, you know, I definitely think if you're already doing things like hiking and biking and those kinds of things, we want to make sure that it is weight bearing. You know, doing air squats is beneficial, but you already have plenty of non-weight bearing exercise. So, you know, getting a pair of dumbbells and doing some goblet squats, getting a pair of dumbbells and doing some strict press.
Yeah.
Getting a pair of dumbbells.
One thing I will say is that, like, I don't like the, like, well, maybe I'll just do back squats or deadlifts or whatever. Like, and there's like really no plan and no overall, you know, bird's eye look at that. I will say, like, I'm not a fan of that, but the movements that you should make sure that you're incorporating, if these are the strength movements that you're adding in, you should be doing squats, deadlifts, presses, and like any kind of like high pulls, really.
Pulling, pushing.
Yeah,
pulling, pushing. And again, like, you want to have, ideally that would be done in a program by a professional to make sure that you're hitting all of the points of performance that you want to, and getting those in a nice rotation where it's going to be beneficial for you.
Yeah,
obviously.
But pull push squat is your overall look at that, so that if you're saying like, okay, cool, Kelsey, I'm going to incorporate strength training in twice a week and I'm a back squat both days, I'm like, well, Well,
Wow.
something's better than nothing. But if you were to squat one day, deadlift the other, maybe the next week you were going to deadlift and press, and then the following week maybe you were going to squat and press. You know what I mean? Like where you're getting in, a bigger picture that you're not doing the exact same thing over and over.
Definitely. So the next question we were asked was about first day back in the gym vibes.
Yeah.
And everybody, okay, so right now, personally, I can definitely speak to this because since I got sick with the plague, in which then I had like some sort of like lung pneumonia. And is there any other kind of pneumonia? Why did I add the lung?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
You were just trying to
obviously.
make it clear that this has something to do with your breathing.
So I have this like condition in which like I don't know, I'm obviously a medical professional. The tendons and like ligaments around my lung are like overstretched and it hurts a lot basically.
Even if you
So
say the name of it, people might recognize it.
it's hard to say and I don't want to say it wrong. I didn't ask, you know what I should have done? You know when you
When they
can
wrote it
ask
down,
Google how to say it, like you
Mhm.
put the word in and then you hit the button and it says like
Yeah.
I do this all the time for
Yeah.
diastasis.
Yeah.
Diastasis. And I'm like, okay, that's how you say it. Because sometimes you read it a lot and you're like, think you're saying it one way in your head. What did I just do that for? Didn't I just do that for a word?
You did, and I was trying to tell someone about it the other day, and I couldn't remember what word it was.
It was so funny
Yeah,
though.
because you had been
In my
saying it
mind,
pretty
I
regularly in
read
your
it.
mind.
Yeah, I read it a certain way. And then I went to say it in a conversation and everyone was like,
I was like, that's not
what
how
she
you
just
say
say now?
that.
That's not how you say that. And I was like, oh, you learn something new every day. So it's that condition. It's hard to say. So, anyways, it is like this strain in my like lung, and doing anything is like extremely painful. So like I can't move any weight. I can't be under any like respiratory duress. Like if I breathe heavy, like it flares up and hurts like immensely. And my favorite thing is that I've been told that like weeks to months, we don't know.
Yeah, it has to heal.
So I'm on this like, okay, I can't really do anything that doesn't hurt it. And I know that a lot of people have come up against these things multiple times in their fitness journey where it's like, I can't, go right now because I'm still recovering from COVID. I can't go right now because even if it's like a time thing. So, it's not a time in my life where I can carve something in. There's a million reasons, but you're going to have a million and one first day back to the gym. And I've been saying to myself, like, oh, I'm so excited about being able to get back. But really, let's be honest about the first day back. It's a shit show. It's a shit show of like emotions of like, I can't believe how far I've backslid. I can't believe how difficult everything seems. If you walk by mirrors, that could be a trigger for I can't believe like just like a couple months ago, this is not how I looked. And it's a whole ass situation in which you can get into a real self-loathing. And that's if you even get there because there's whole like anxiety thing beforehand about like even starting up again and getting back there for the first day and how because kind of how it's gonna be. What should I do, Kelsea? Do you have any tips on how to approach your first day back when it's not going to be, this all-star rock star session where you're feeling really great about yourself or what you can do?
So I think the biggest mistake people make when they come back into the gym is that they continuously compare themselves to what they were at some time. And that always has rosy colored glasses on it because it's never an accurate depiction of what you were feeling or whatever. But the main thing is you are at a different point in your life when you are showing up as that human, and you are not that person right now. you're in a totally different place. So I think one of the biggest mistakes I think people make is that they look back and they either compare to their body or their numbers. I have done that. I've, come back from injuries and been like, oh, I can finally squat again. And then I, get some weight on the bar and it's just, I'm like super excited to do it. And then realize that I'm nowhere near this number that I had in my head when I haven't been doing the numbers around that, right? Like you haven't been doing the stuff around it and all of a sudden you think you're going to jump right back into it. So number one is don't compare yourself to a past version of you. And number two is go in with the expectations have to be, I am happy to be here. I'm proud of myself for showing up today. And you have to really, really practice this language because it doesn't come naturally, especially when you're in a self-loathing, shame-induced spot, right? You're basically shaming yourself there. And then you're looking for every piece of evidence that is going to support that shame. I am such a shadow of the person I was. Look at these numbers. You get all of the information around you to support the claim that you're going in there with. And that's really a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's not why we're there. That's not the person that you're building when you're there. So like if you go into it in a space of, I'm so proud of myself for showing up today and looking forward at the journey that is in front of you, that is not going to happen in a day. It's a long one. The second worst mistake you can make when you go in is thinking that you're going to get all your fitness in that day, because then it's going to end that day.
Oh, I've done that before.
I've done that before too.
I have come back after.
You come back on fire.
And I'm on fire and I'm going to just do it all. I'm going to hit everything. I'm going to be there for a while. I missed it so much. And then I cannot walk for a week and I cannot fitness. And now I'm in the same boat as I was before of something holding me back from actually getting there. You're totally right on that you need to come back and stay in your freaking lane of like, I'm happy to be here and I am going to do things today that are going to support my longevity in getting here again. And I'm not going to be foolish and get into this like, but I used to be able to, because there will be some things that you probably still can do at a certain level, but it will put you out of commission for
they're not smart.
A hot minute. No, it's not smart. And it's not going to support the rest of the week.
No. In your goals and longevity. I always caution people too on using the language of like day one, day this, day that. Like fitness, just like your life, is fluid, and it doesn't have a beginning and an end date. It doesn't have I was this before and now I have to get back to that. You're only moving forward and you're never going to be the person that you were. You're never going to be that again. And like, you might have this as like some aesthetic goals, some number goals, things like that, but they will be a future version of you. And I think you have to think about it in a way, if that is a future version of me. I hope to one day hit a 250 back squat, and a lot of that is like if you've already hit it, but I would like to hit a 250 back squat from where I'm starting today. It's not like I have to get back to there because I've fallen so far off the wagon and it ran me over. It's like, this is always fluid, and there's going to be times in your life where you are fitter, or you are, more pleased with your aesthetic, or you are happier in your life and things are going well. And there are going to be other times where you are, things aren't going as well for you, or you've prioritized other things, and maybe that means you're happier in other places of your life, but your fitness has fallen behind, and that's okay.
That's okay. And not only is it okay, but like you can't really wish yourself back to the person that didn't have all of those things and all of that experience, because then you wouldn't be you anymore.
You wouldn't be you.
So
a whole nother person, a whole nother.
Although I could do without this lung disease. If I could go back and say like, no, I'm going to not have this, I'd be like, that's okay. But you know what? Even this is gonna be a part of an experience where I'm gonna say, and one more chance to practice my resiliency because I had this thing and then I came back and I started from, a different place than I was. And that is like it's the journey,
It's all fluid.
It's
like
all fluid.
it's all
It's
part
your
of it.
life, it's your life. It's always happening. And that
We're on pause.
You're right. So the other question that we had that I wanted to hit on was on handstand push-ups because, and just like general inversions. So TTSL is starting a gymnastics cycle. And one of the things that we're working on is the ability to get inverted. And first of all, it's one of those sexy things where it's like, a really important and like cool display of body control. And
that's what I was gonna say.
Right?
It is sexy, but as it should be.
It should be, because having that amount of control over your body and that amount of strength to sort of centralize and
support your entire body weight
that's sexy
on your arms.
AF.
Yeah.
And it also has that appeal of like, when I was younger, I used to be able to do these things, and it made me, what people are actually describing when they say that is like, those things made them feel free. And the reason that like being inverted,
powerful,
right? The reason like those things make you feel free, like doing the monkey bars or whatever, is because you feel limitless. It's like you ask your body to do something and it does it. And a lot of people equate that with being, a younger kid or whatever. But actually, that feeling that you're looking for is just the feeling of like, my body does whatever I ask it to. And that's freaking so powerful. You can draw so much strength and confidence from that. So we are working on inversions because not only are they a huge display of strength and gymnastic ability and flexibility and all of that, but also that they're a huge confidence builder when you know that you have that level of control over your own body. It's a cool thing. And like you walk around different, but you have to actually get upside down. And a lot of people are asking like, okay, I want to get upside down. I stand there. I know I'm strong enough to do it because I've done progressions where like I've done wall walks or I've strict pressed, half my body weight. So like, I know that I can physically be upside down and support myself, but like, it's that
the kick up.
Oh man, that kick up. So, I just wanted to let you guys know because I think it's relevant and important. I program all this shit. And there was a time in my life where I stood at a wall looking at it going, come on, just one, 2, 3, kick up. No. You ever see like those box jump videos where people are like, I'm going to do it. No. Okay, I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to do it. That was me trying to kick up for my first handstand. Like, it's just everybody starts there. And I probably had to stand there, I don't even know how long and how many days to try to convince myself to do it, with my husband like behind me going like, just do it. Just 1, 2, 3. No. Maybe next time. So I just want everybody to know that, first of all, it's normal, even if you have the strength, to like have like a little bit of anxiety about kicking up for the first time. Did you? I bet you didn't. You're not saying anything, so I guess you didn't.
I was trying to remember because I remember more watching other people experience that anxiety that I knew at the time were much stronger than I was, like especially stronger inverted, and thinking like, but look at the size of your shoulders.
You can do this and then have someone on top of you. Like, what are you worried about?
I remember sitting there and being like, I don't know what she's worried about. And when I first started out, I started out with like really skinny like arms, and they were just like little sticks, and they could not support me very well. So I had to definitely work up to that, but I don't remember having a fear of the kick up. And I think that's a general, I'm a little bit less cautious than you are.
Oh, that's true.
When it comes to
life.
Yeah.
Just life, doing
just
life.
a little bit less cautious.
Yeah, you're a little fancy free. Oh, what? We're kicking up to a wall. So I just wanted to give a couple of tips that I thought could help people. But just going back to the fact that after you do all of these tips, like there will be a place where you just eventually need to throw caution to the wind and just say, like, just go. And you'll be able to do it when you're ready to just say, I'm just going to do it, because you have the ability. You just need to,
develop the confidence. But I just want to pause on that for a second, because as it's a funny thing, because we always talk about how we practice these things that we're trying, these attributes that we want to display in life, right? And there is a fear of controlling your own body and having the confidence in yourself to be able to catch yourself. And I just want you to think about those words for a little bit, because as you start to develop confidence in yourself and in your body, that translates into your everyday life. So as we practice these things like going inverted, it might just seem like, oh, it's just this like sexy upside down thing. But really what you're building is confidence in yourself. I can catch me. That is a really important skill.
I've seen so many posts of like, I got my first, I kicked up, I did it, I did the thing. And like, you can see all over their face that it was about so much more than
so
being
much
upside
more.
down. Like it was like, it opens up like a whole world of like possibilities when you just say, I am going to trust myself and I'm going to try this thing and I'm going to throw caution to the wind and I'm just going to say, like, I can catch myself.
I've seen a lot of these discussions open up a lot more lately about just the gym in general, and about how, way back when there was this idea around the gym that it was just based around aesthetics. And everyone that went there was kind of vain, and they needed to look at themselves in the mirror, and like all of these other just kind of like general ideas. And there's been really a whole movement that has come out and have been like, hey, a lot of us are there working through some stuff.
Working through some shit.
We're working through some shit. We're building attributes in our life that we want to be able to take into our everyday life, and we know that that's our space to practice it. And it's a really important space to practice it. I've built confidence with myself in knowing that I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. I'm just going to do these things. I'm going to, count my reps exactly, because I'm not a cheater. I'm not a liar. And I say that over to myself, like, I'm not a cheater. I'm not a liar. I can catch myself if I fall. I have confidence in my body. I have confidence in myself. And the more times that you tell yourself that and then do things that prove it, you're building yourself into a different person.
And that's why, that has caught on, like, the gym is my therapy, because like, not that it replaces therapy. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say that there are things being practiced in there that have nothing to do with the size of your biceps.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a really good point. I'm so glad you brought it up. I just wanted to give a couple of tips. First of all, the amount away that your hands are from the wall is going to make a massive difference in your positioning. So you want to make sure that your hand positioning is correct. Your hands should not be like right up against the wall. That is gonna make you
leave room for the booty.
Dude, okay. This is probably the most common mistake I see, right? You gotta leave room for the booty. The booty needs to be able to rest up against the wall. And that is going to give you sort of like your most solid position. If you're gonna try to like pencil it, where this happens often when people's hands are too close to the wall, that they're like a pencil up there and there's no room for the booty to rest, then it's like now
you just bounce off.
You not only just bounce off, but now you're almost in like a freestand handstand, which is like, we can work up to that, but let's first just work on kicking up. So look at your hand position and make sure that you're not too close to the wall. Secondly, make sure that that booty is resting on the wall, right? And you're going to reach for the wall with your heels. And I want to make sure too that people are not looking down, right? You want to be looking through your hands. So think about how like a gymnast does. I always go back to like, okay, how would a 12-year-old gymnast do this? When you look at experienced gymnasts in their handstands. They're not looking down, they're looking through their hands. So like their head is in that neutral position. And I think that's really important. And when it comes to building up the confidence to kick up, we've got a lot of drills. You can start from a box, you can do wall walks, you can do heel taps, which is kind of like you don't have a wall, you're just working on like kicking up the one leg and then bringing this one to meet it, tapping the heel, and then coming back down. So it's just, there's so many drills that you can work on to get comfortable with that. And I really want people to know that it's not just, it doesn't have to be just a 0 to 100 where you're just like, okay, well, I never kicked up before, but I'm going for it. Like, we can work you up there. And if you are interested, in any of these skills, definitely want to get in the TTSL cycle that's going on right now for sure.
Oh, for sure. I do want to say a little trick to getting upside down. And what I see from a lot of people is they fall off because they're counting on just their upper body to hold and steady them. You need to squeeze your bum. You're kicking up, squeeze your bum, and then that will help you squeeze your core, which is ultimately the whole thing that's going to hold you together. If you go up kind of like loose from the shoulders down and just counting on your shoulders to just kind of like support the rest of a sloppy body, it's not going to work out. You have to make sure that you squeeze that butt and you squeeze your belly in, and then it will take the pressure off of your shoulders having to hold everything up, because it's kind of like pulling itself up.
Well, through the gymnastics cycle, the feedback that we've had in the past is like, why are my abs sore every day?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's a gymnastics cycle, but actually it's a core cycle, because every single thing when it comes to body control, and like the more body control you're demanding, the more midline you're going to be demanding. So every single thing is like, squeeze the butt, squeeze the core, squeeze the butt, squeeze the core. And people are like, holy shit, this is an ab cycle. And I'm like, well, yeah, a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
you can't control the rest of your body if you don't control your core.
It's so true. So hopefully that was a good rundown of some common questions. If you have a question, you can always hop in our Ask a Coach section of our CVG Nation app. Ask us anything. If it's good enough, we'll answer it on the podcast too. And we're always available in there. So get your questions in there. And I think, and next week I want to talk about, there was a question about how to develop a deeper squat, and I definitely want to address
So tune
that.
in for next week.
Tune in for next week. We love you guys. Have a great week.